Nice track.
Yeah, trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center. Hit it dead center. Bullseye, hit it the most, is no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no dip.
Boom!
Couldn't listen to you two anymore.
That was so good. That was so good. That was so good, Pete. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Wednesday. There's only 3 here. Pneumonia has left the DeVito household, so it's just my numero uno, Pete. Happy Wednesday, buddy.
Walking pneumonia walked out. I got to tell you, there's not something I want to do less right now than podcast.
Well, great to have you here. I know someone who definitely wants to be here. Case, happy Wednesday, buddy.
Hey, I'm excited to be here.
All right.
It's November 6th. I'm still here.
Case, new spot tonight, new drapes.
Yeah, back in the kitchen.
I'd love to see that. Hey,
what determines when you move around?
I don't know. How I'm feeling on a given Wednesday.
You and your wife have to coordinate?
Not really. She's in the family room lying on the couch right now. She'll go upstairs. She goes to bed fairly early, so
interesting.
Yeah.
Because
sometimes it's about comfort of the seat, Pete. I'm sitting up at my kitchen table. A little more.
One more question. What are your options? You have living room couch laying down. You have the in front of the drapes in the kitchen.
I like to show you a lot of different versions of me, Pete. I like to diversify.
You have in front of the stairs. I get that a lot.
Yeah,
both living spaces. Yeah. I haven't done the bedroom yet. We have a desk up there. I haven't done that yet.
Mike, is your room finished yet down there or no?
What room finished?
That sketchy basement.
No, this is how I live. This is my office. I'm not touching it.
Why don't you get a basement? You, as one kid that grew up with a basement that we all hung out in all the time, you would think that you would.
My kids have the basement over here, but it's like it's like a play area, TV stuff. My office. So if they have people come over after school, my office is a little secluded. It's my quiet.
You're secluded to the bad side of the basement.
It's the best, dude. I got my TV over here. It's the best, dude.
That sounds familiar. Get ready.
One of the best things.
Nice big apartment pretty soon.
What?
When you set up that live link, Pete, I clicked on it, the YouTube links. I didn't know it didn't pop up right away. It showed some of our own videos. The first one is a picture of us and had the quad box, and you were in your former little man cave setup there. You look like 6 years younger.
Yeah, the man room is now just turned into the man room 2-room apartment.
It's a man duplex now, Pete.
Man two.
Hey, let's flip over to some fantasy. So we're getting close. We're getting close to the playoffs. I feel like almost every week we make comments about the magic number to be eliminated from the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm floating around. I got 7 wins. It's a good season so far for the chosen ones. And I was curious. I was like, well, what is the magic number to make the playoffs? How many wins do you need? How many wins do you think you need?
Well, coming in the season now, because with the extra game, it kind of throws everything off. So now there's 15 games. No,
I also thought this would be true.
What? How many games are there?
What's the magic number though? What number do you think if you hit that number, you're in the playoffs? How many wins?
9 wins.
9. Yeah, 9.
If 7 is the loss number, then 9 is the win number.
So 9 is the magic number. How many times in the history of our league has a team gotten 9 wins and missed the playoffs?
Oh, I don't know.
I bet you a bunch.
How do you not watch football all weekend, but then you know a stat like this?
10. I did this at work on Monday. 10? I know the answer. 1. It has only happened one time in the history of our league. It was 2016, Kevin Breen, or 2007. Kevin Breen had 9 wins one year. If you go look back at the year over year, you're more apt to see a team with 7 wins make the playoffs than a team with 9 wins miss the playoffs.
What year is that, Mike?
Hey, look, 18, 19. I didn't do that much research. But Breen recently had 9 wins, and there was 2 teams with 3 wins that year, which was the big difference.
Wow. What do you think? Well, I guess that would be me. How many wins do you think the last place team is going to have this year? I think I can get it to 4 or 5.
I think you could get to 4. I think you could see the bottom team get to 4.
So in 2019, Breen and Spates made the playoffs at 8-6.
Yep.
And we had Orange Crush won it with 11-3, and the chosen ones went to and through at 10-4. So that was 8 wins to get in that year. So that was a highly competitive year.
But I think you'll see a lot. I was surprised when I went back how many times 7 and 8 wins made the playoffs. I was like, I intuitively I said to myself, you got to get to 10. If you get to 10, you're in. And then I looked, I'm like, I think if you get to 9, you're in. I think the answer is if you get to 9 wins, you're in the playoffs, unless something crazy happens.
What about this year? Do you think that holds for this year?
This year's interesting because there's such a huge chunk of teams there. I actually do think 9 wins is going to get there. We could see a 7-win or 8-win team get in.
Good segue, Mike. 2018, Breen was 13-1. The Killer Bees were 10-4. You got in at 7-7 in a 3-team 7-7 playoff points with a separator there. You had, quick math, 140 more points than me.
On average per week, that is 10 points, guys. Come on, 14 weeks, man. Come on.
Thank you.
Welcome. It was interesting. I like to do that just to kind of level set where we are, see how many weeks we have left.
Pete came in last place that year at 4-10.
Who did?
Pete.
Pete's a boomer and bust type of guy. There's no in between with Pete DeLuca. You have to know that by now.
I'm working on it. I'm in therapy.
You progressed. You progressed a little bit, Pete.
It's been a long year.
All right, let's get to a long week. Let's recap some games. Week 9 in the books. I have to tell the audience, I was in New York City this weekend. Not my favorite thing to do. I went to the New York City Marathon, supported my sister-in-law, broke 4 hours. I followed football on my phone, so I saw what happened. I'm not as in tune as usual, but don't worry about it. I'll show up for the gang. So let's hear it. Pete. Go.
She broke 4 hours.
4 hours. Yeah, it was incredible.
That is legit. Why have you never done a marathon?
No interest.
Why not? You run.
I don't know.
What's the longest you ever ran?
I mean, in high school, we used to run consistently 15 or 20 miles in cross country. I bet you when I was in good shape, I could have done it.
Yeah, you could have knocked it out.
Never had the desire.
Case, what's the longest you've ever waddled around?
I don't think waddle would be the term to use, Pete, for my elite athletic status. Probably
like you called him the league's best athlete 3 weeks ago, Pete.
I would say 5.
5 miles the most you ever run.
You run more than 5 miles. Dude.
At any one time? No, 5 miles.
Wow.
You've done a marathon, haven't you, Pete?
Yeah, I did a marathon in 2016.
Terrible. Awful.
This is the Week in Review. The Week in Review, the boom of the week goes to Jeffrey Aqua Fresca Innes. It is 180 points. First boom of the year for Innes, so good for him. This was his 10th all-time. He moves into 3rd all-time on the boom list. And this one was his 3rd all-time, excuse me. He moves to 3rd all-time on the list. So yeah, good for you, Jeff. I'm kind of winging it. You want to talk about Saturday?
Good job, Jeff.
Being on the marathon. You know where I was Saturday? I went to the Purple Patio. You might have to Google that one. That is the
I don't think I'm going to Google that on my computer.
No, it's not. It's not bad. It's
Ravens hotspot, right, Pete?
It's like the Ravens place where everyone goes to.
Oh.
And I was probably the oldest one there by 20 years. And it was something else. So you want to talk about not watching football? Yeah, boy. One thing I did catch was the Beast of the Week. Did you guys see who won that?
Was it JSN?
They scored a lot of points.
It was JSN, but he was not started.
So was it Saquon?
It was Saquon. 42 points, his first ever Beast of the Week.
Wow.
It was a bottom 10 performance, but he did do a backflip over somebody.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was so awesome.
What do you guys think of that? Because you're risking nicking a nut.
Yeah. You have to be such an elite athlete to be like, I am gonna backwards leap, not see how far this person's going to do something like that. Because he could have nicked a nut.
He basically decided, like, everybody's hurling dudes, I'm going to do it backwards.
Yeah. And for anyone
he's a better athlete.
Anyone that does or does not have testicles, getting just nicked in the nut is really the hardest part. So, like, when I saw that helmet, I went, ooh. So I went for it. Okay. Saquon, bottom 10 beast all time, so it kind of sucked. Going deep, this is another one. There was pretty bad week for long plays.
No, I got nothing. I don't even have anything in my brain. Brad.
I think somebody ran the ball far or caught a long pass. If you say it, I'll know it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you if I know it.
Zay Flowers was the one that actually won it. I don't think it was the longest play, but it was 53 yards. It was the worst going deep that we've ever had. I was tracking him. So it was that big play. It actually killed me, but pretty terrible going deep. Average score last week was 142. It was up from 141 the week before, so 2 big weeks in a row. Magic number 136. If you hit it, you're 36-8. I think that we might want to look at a different threshold for that. If you look at the number 159, if you score 159, you are 15-0.
Okay.
If you score under 96, you are 0-10. So that's kind of.
That's a pretty big range. It's a pretty big range you're asking us to engage with, but I can do it.
Honestly, it's kind of mixed between 159 and 136. It's kind of like 500 in there. So 159 is the point where it really just all turns to W's. So.
Yeah, if you hit 160, you're going to get a win. That's a good threshold. All right, Pete, let's do some game recaps. Game of the week. Lloyd, man, tough coaching. Let's hear it. Oh, you're doing – was Lloyd down the number one, or you want to do Jeff because he's a boom?
I don't know. I'll do whatever you want. Which one are we doing first?
I thought Lloyd and I were game of the week. I got it teed up over here. Let's talk about it. The Manguso Bowl 3.0. I feel like I've beaten Lloyd a lot recently, but give us the recap, Pete. Lloyd has a great bench performance. Lost to the chosen ones.
Yeah, I'm all out of whack. Bear with me.
We're with you.
I was in a place every time the Ravens scored a touchdown, they fired off like fire extinguishers and stuff, and they poured shots down people's throats. And I didn't get carded going in. How do you guys feel about that?
I wouldn't have carded you.
I know, but do you guys do you feel insulted?
No, we're 40, man.
One guy said, "Go in, Dad."
I mean, he's not wrong.
Like dad of two. All right. Mike, your running backs seem to be the difference. You had a great game there, 152 or 117 over Lloyd. This was a number 2 seed over a 3 seed, so this was actually pretty close game. It was supposed to be a pretty close game. Turns out Mike wins it in a laugher. Dan leaves Gino and JSN stack on his bench. And that was about 70 points. Would have made the big difference in this one. Why have the stack if you're not going to play it? I don't get it. Both teams need quarterback help, so we'll see where they go from here. Mike, what do you think? Big win. You excited?
Big win. My team showed up. This is all came. Puka got thrown out in the worst ejection I've ever seen.
That was bad.
That was bad.
Soft.
I don't mind it. I actually like that he sat out in the second half, rest the knee a little bit. Good performance. The running I've gone this year different than I usually do. I'm usually a wide receiver dependent team. I have a lot of starting running backs, and it's elevated my floor. And so if I can get Saquon booming, Chase Brown, I was pumped about some of the highlights of him. He looks exceptionally athletic. I still have Pacheco floating on the bench. Like there's still a couple spots that I feel good about. Other than I am deeply, deeply concerned about my quarterbacks. I don't know what I'm going to. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's just say that multiple teams in this league have tried to take advantage of me, thinking that I wouldn't understand how to value quarterbacks, but I can find them. They're out there. I'll take the win, 7-2. I got to get 2 more to break the record of playoffs and then lose in the semifinals per usual.
Yo, so DeVito sent you a bad offer, but how about me? I send you good. I just say, hey, you want to?
I don't think your offer was any good. We'll ask Case offline what he thinks about the offer.
No, but I was doing some feelers this week around quarterback play for myself, Mike, and no one's giving me the time of day. I think they think you're an easier team to pick off.
You can text me. I'm down. You want to talk?
I can't talk to Casey. For the sake of our friendship, I don't talk about trades with him.
Don't send me trades.
I just say flat out, don't send me trades. I can't talk to you about it because I will fight with you because he makes no sense in his evaluation.
You don't want Xavier Leggett?
For the sake of our friendship, I say let's not talk about trades.
Hey, have you ever heard Xavier Leggett give an interview? After we got offline, go listen to Xavier Leggett's interview. It's so good. Speaking of not good, whenever I looked at Lloyd's roster at the beginning of the day, and I was like, he doesn't have JSN on. I'm pretty sure Metcalf is hurt. I'm pretty sure Lockett is old, and the Rams secondary is awful. And I was like, he's not going to play. Fine. I didn't expect him to do this. Case, Lloyd's got a coaching problem, dude. His talent is legit, and he continues to lose these stupid games.
Yeah, very, very pedestrian week for his team, even for his big guns. A lot of low teens, mid-team scores, nothing crazy. I actually was the benefit of the Puka throat head punch as well, Mike. That helped the cup target line for me in my matchup. So I was appreciative of that move as well. But no, not a lot to say about Dan. Geno Smith is playing really well from a fantasy standpoint. And to Pete's point, if you have a stack, Sam Darnold and Geno probably don't have enough separation to not take advantage of at least a stack and double points. He doesn't have any Vikings receivers.
Where do you guys prioritize this league on a Sunday? What do you
like? If I'm home, this is the only league I care about.
Yeah, I don't do any DFS. I don't do any other league. I mean, I have a work league that I'm in first place in, but I don't really care about. Yeah, this is what do you think is going on in Dan's life? Not to get personal or anything.
Oh no,
but
I bet you he is exceptionally focused on this league, and it torments him to ages. He got a little unlucky. Drake London got knocked out in the first quarter, but like Javonte Williams, this is what he does. Like I think he's probably stressed out when he loses this, but he's also on the path. Like he's second in scoring. He is 5-4. He's the top of this bundle. So like he theoretically still owns his own destiny to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a lot of panic and indecisiveness. A lot of what ifs.
Hey Pete, how impressed were you that I brought Case in to analyze Lloyd's team, and 15 seconds into it, he thanked me for Cooper Kupp's performance on his team. In 15 seconds, Case somehow brought up his team. It's really impressive.
I don't pay attention.
Want me to drop a stat that I'm top 2 or top 3 in?
I got to produce
okay.
We call that
Pete,
Kaleli.
Pete, let's go to the next one. We're on top of a lot of stats, Case. That's what happens. Let's go to the next game.
What's the next one?
I'm going to easily segue in, and I'm going to keep talking out loud as we get ready for the next game, which was an upset, a big one this week. CGD, good old Whippoorwill. Nope, good old, whatever.
Whippoorwill. It's kind of funny that the name of the street is Whippoorwill. Like, why? And it's a very oddly shaped street. It's kind of like an S.
Yep.
Remember that? And then Penny Lane just dead ends into it. Anyway.
Beatles.
There wasn't good flow on Penny Lane.
But you would think where Penny Lane and Whippoorwill intersected that they would just stop Whippoorwill, but it just keeps going. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, only Christian and CJ know what we're talking about right now. No one else really cares. Let's talk number 5, Christian over number 1, Spades. Big loss for Spades. Oof, 159 to 148. So only an 11-point win for Christian, but those ones still count. Christian puts up 159, and that was with Michael Pittman and Kyle Pitts both combining for 5 points total. Spade's probably kicking himself this morning or last night or whatever. He's probably happy. He's a Trump supporter, but he's probably kicking himself after this weekend where if he started Devonta Smith over Olave, he would have got the win. Of course, Olave going at Carolina, kind of hard to pass that one up. So kind of with you on that one. CJ.
Did you see Olave's hit, Pete? Did you see the hit he got knocked out of the game on? It was an awful pass.
No, I didn't see any of this. I haven't even watched highlights. I shouldn't.
Michael Thomas throwing shade at him too.
Bad. Well, he threw shade at Derek Carr, not at Olave.
Right.
It was bad.
Yeah.
To Darian's team, guys, he's very quietly in 5th place. He's 4-5. He's around 500. He has a couple of league winners on his roster, and the biggest one is Achane. If he can get Achane, Garrett Wilson operating at this level with some Bijan hit or miss, he's got a really strong core of guys, and I think he's going to be feeling pretty good. Bottom of the bench, like many of us, is going to be hit or miss. I think that Darian's going to be there at the end. It's going to be interesting to see who comes out in my perspective on that 4-5, 5-4. In case you said Spates was going to lose one game the rest of the year, and then he lost that next game. Tough break.
Savant. A down week for CJ is 150 points, so he's got to feel okay. Yeah, we talked about a little bit last week. With Tua back, Achane becomes an elite level player for how they use him, and it works better with Tua under center. Now, Christian does have some boom ability with his players to get him into the top mark. He is sneaking up. That pre-season prediction looks a little better, Mike.
Yeah, I think so. I think I had Spates winning the regular season and Darian winning the Super Bowl. I mean, those things I'm in the running, baby.
Look good right now.
I think I have Darian winning the Super Bowl too, right?
You might have Ennis.
Are you supposed to be tracking this stuff, Casey?
I can look it up. I have it.
Hey, do you have is the zip up Adidas or the undershirt Adidas?
Both.
Double Adidas.
Yeah.
Hey,
Double,
you know what I'm doing?
We're changing branding, though. We're New Balance now.
Oh. I like New Balance shoes.
Because of Otani?
Yeah, because of Otani. Yeah, Otani
is Otani.
Yeah, are very related.
Yeah. All right, what are we talking about next?
Next game. That was game number 2, a nice upsetting game number 2, but let's get to game number 3. Not an upset. It was, by the way, so it's Case over DeVito. I re-listened to the pod from last week. DeVito threw tremendous shade on Case.
Yeah, he was kind of a dink.
He was. It was like kind of rude how
He was-
nobody likes York peppermint patties and no one likes you. That's what he said.
When he sent the group message afterwards, like it made it seem like he was talking about the team, not me personally. But when he said it, it was very personal, wasn't it?
Very personal.
Okay.
Well, you beat him, Casey, so you got that going for you. Give us
I
a
smashed
recap.
him. I smashed him.
Give us a recap.
Yeah, Casey, don't forget.
Pete, he didn't even show. He didn't even show this week, Pete.
All right, you'll get your chance. You know what I'm doing tomorrow? I'm gonna go get my beard shaped for the first time. You guys ever do that?
Oh,
How you gonna
Totally
shape it?
unrelated.
I never have. Text it to me. Text the picture.
I'm gonna get it professionally. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. My daughter pointed out that my thing under my lip here grows in like an X and asked me if I'm doing that intentionally. I said no.
I'm never not going to see that now.
Yeah,
Can you imagine what
nice.
grown man would be like, shave this into an X?
Part of D
Apparently
generation
you.
DX.
Yeah. All right. I might have a guest star here in a second. Hold on. What up? You want to say hello?
Hey Benny, what do you think about your dad's X on his beard?
Do you think this looks like an X?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell him what you think about Trump?
What's up, little Pete?
Good move, Benny. Good move, buddy.
What are you doing? There's. Yeah. Okay. Grab some water. I'll grab something. All right. What were we talking about?
Case and
How awesome I was this week.
every week, Case.
Next game.
Which one was it?
Case and DeVito.
Oh yeah, Casey, you actually look like a reigning champ for the first time ever. Steve has AJ Brown missed the second half, so his 130 really has no juice. Not much changed here. Tell you the God's honest truth. Steve bouncing down from the 5th seed down to the 8th was pretty bad, but that was just about it. Let me go help this kid find some water.
Case, multi-directional here. You potentially on the path now to get back into the playoffs. DeVito on the path now to pretty clearly be missing the playoffs. Even though your records are the same today, feels like fortunes are different. Give us your recap. Try to do it somewhat normally and not making DeVito seem like a complete noob because he called you whatever he called you last week.
Well, DeVito also pulls out all the skeezy moves. When AJ Brown got taken out, there was still like plenty of game left.
Boring. That kid's boring.
And Gabe's determined. And he did the whole AJ Brown's done. Congrats, Case, on the win. Trying to do some reverse jinx crap.
Oh, did he really?
He's such a
Immediate.
baby. He's such a baby.
What a lame move.
I know.
All right, well, good win, Case. Welcome back. I'm excited for we get a big game coming up this week. You're playing an A team now. So
Huge.
we have a lot of Monday night guys that we'll get to in a second. I know
it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be
Play the
great.
quarterback just for that.
I gotta stay up though Monday night. All right, speaking of Monday night, this one was over long before then.
Nice.
Innis booms all over DeLuca. Pete, unfortunately, give us the recap.
I get boomed on a lot.
I feel like you've gotten boomed on multiple times this year.
Yeah, I'm like a Hopedale girl. All right. So it was Jeff Innis 180 to 130. It was the blowout of the week. Innis, Zay Flowers made some quick work of me. The one thing I did see on Sunday was him scoring, and I go, oh yeah, I'm going against him. That's not a good feeling. DeAndre Hopkins looking good at Kansas City, getting his touchdowns. What is Casey doing? What do you think he's acting like?
He can keep up.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins going against Kansas City, contributing. Just a note out there to everybody, he's available. Jeff stays good. He's got in the 4th seed. He's got CMC coming back. So good for Jeff. He looks like he's on the
Pete, is there anybody on your team that you are most want to keep and most willing to move?
DeAndre Hopkins, number 1. I'm ready to move immediately if anyone wants him. Cortland Sutton as well. Those would be the 2 that I am 1,000%. If anyone's interested, talk to me now.
I know the answer realistically to this question is nobody. But on your roster, who are you most loyal to being on the roster next year?
Kyler and McBride.
Oh, you still like the stack? You like the stack?
Yeah, I would stay with the stack. And DK probably after that if it didn't need to be an individual player.
Yeah, DK is in a tricky spot too because he hasn't been healthy, so you're getting him at a pretty low value at the moment. Case, we've said all season Spates is the best team. He's first. He's been first. He's been dominant. He's number 1 in points. Can we confidently say today Jeff is now, with CMC coming back, presumed to be the 2nd best team in the league? Is that an unfair statement?
Oh, man. I think you can make a case for Jeff. I think you can make a case for Lloyd, and perhaps Christian. I don't think it's a clear-cut number 2.
Or the guy in second place.
Yeah. We know what's coming, Mike. we sort of.
I think you have to say
we've read this book. We've read this book so many times. You know,
if you had told Innes before the season, "Hey, you're going to have to go 10 weeks without McCaffrey,"
I'm sure he would take where he's at right now.
I think he would take 5 and 4 in 4th place any day of the week.
Yeah, in the playoff hunt.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
If I'm Jeff, he'll never say it out loud. He's going to be worried about McCaffrey. I'm worried about McCaffrey for Jeff. Like, I don't trust these guys who have foot injuries coming back that long, but we'll get to that when we preview Jeff's next game. Congratulations on the boom, Jeff. A big win for you. Sorry to see it, Pete. You put up another nice week. 130 is not a bad performance. It was not the worst of the week. So let's get to the worst of the week.
No, it feels great scoring all these points and losing every week. It
really should. You should be proud, Pete.
That's wonderful.
Because I'm pretty sure when you played Andy, who's in our next game, you had many more points than Andy put up this week because he didn't put up a lot. Ugliest game of the week, closest game of the week, 122-115. Breen takes down DeVita. Give us the recap, Pete.
Yeah, this is a tough one for DeVita. Might be somewhat the nail in the coffin. Honestly, this is kind of a toss-away game for both of them. Andy plays Komet. He gets a donut. That kind of sucks. Especially with Algier on his bench. Algier, very playable option, scored 8 points. That would have been the difference in one of these, in a 7-point game. That would have been the difference. So that kind of hurts. Breen gets the W. He passes DeVito. So DeVito is back as the lowest scoring team in the league. You suck, Steve. I want to make sure that if you're aware of that. But it was 2 bad teams. It was 2 low scores. It actually probably has 0 implications. So
bigger spoiler the rest of the season, Brian. Kevin or Andy?
Kevin. Nico Collins comes back, changes a lot of things.
DeVita?
Can you see Kevin's team making a run? Again, he's 1 game behind the playoff. Points are a problem.
Points are a problem. Make it sure. Yeah, I mean, he's 4 and 5. He's 4 and 5. He's 1 win out of it.
2 weeks ago we did this, and you gave him, I believe, a 1 out of 10 chance to make the playoffs.
I did. Everything sort of stayed the same, though. Like record-wise, everything stayed the same. Everything continues to be jumbled up. He's 1 win away from being a 4 seed.
He is.
Aren't we all?
Not you. We all are.
I'm 2
Conceptually. Pete, is Benny hydrated?
Yes, he found his water bottles.
We're dealing with some fevers in this household. That's why I had to jump up.
You just want to be me.
No.
It's so well done.
I want to be taller.
That's why you named me after my ex. All right.
Did I tell you guys that my kids have slept in the same room since COVID, and they asked to switch rooms? Did I tell you this? They wanted their own separate room. 2 weeks ago, they wanted our separate rooms. First night, they slept in their own rooms. They have not slept in different rooms 1 time in the last 2 weeks, and we literally had to rearrange the entire kids, dude. Kids. I don't know what to do. All right, let's do some preview. Previewing week 10, we're back to the top of the year. So this is all a rematch from week 1. Our game of the week was the closest game of week 1, and it's put these 2 teams on very different paths. To remind us, it was a less than 1 point win for the chosen ones in week 1. What will week 10 bring us, Pete? Give us the preview.
Hey, which kid had to move out of the room?
B.
Do you have to get her a new bed?
We had extra beds. We had enough beds. We had bunk bed. We have so many beds all over the house. No, we didn't have to get a new bed.
Yo, I need a new bed frame, but I tell you, I gotta tell you what happened. It just happened today. Ben and
let's talk about it offline, Pete.
No, it's a good one. Ben and I, when we have men's day, we do like pro wrestling, right? So we go in, we go ding 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 and do all this stuff. I gave him a stone cold stunner, and the bed frame broke in half like it was a WWF table.
Did he laugh?
He was laughing so hard. I have it leaning against the wall right now. Like I don't know. It broke down like this was ECW. Like I thought somebody was gonna start chanting.
Where are you sleeping tonight?
ECW. All right. Who are we talking about? These 2 guys. Casey, the 6 seed. Mike, the 2 seed. Week 1, Mike won 136-135. big matchups I see in this one that kind of swayed me. I like Stafford at home against Miami. When you really look at that matchup, Miami looks hard on paper, but have made the last 2 weeks the quarterbacks look ridiculously good. I also like Cade Otton against San Francisco. I like what's his face, Kittle going against Tampa Bay. I mean, I'm just going. The more I looked at it, the more I saw that Brian Casey's players were jumping off the board as players that everybody likes in fantasy. I'm not going to rehash why. So I'm going to go with Casey. I'm going to take him in the upset. This is going to be my upset of the week.
Congrats, Pete. Good to hear that. I've got a lot of alphabet soup on the bench of mine. Case, we have been talking for 3 weeks about the return of Brian's monstrous receivers, and you have been 1 and 2. Is this your week, and where are you feeling most confident in your roster today?
Most confident. You know what? I love Devontae Adams. I've wanted him on my team for so long. When you finally traded me a couple of years ago, it was finally good to see him connect with Rodgers. When he's going, I feel so much better about my team. It deepens me up big time. So Jefferson, Brown, Adams, keys. Consistency keys. Like, need them every week.
Is it his name St. Brown?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Not
are you
Brown.
picking yourself? Where are you worried about? Are there people on my team you're worried about?
I'm worried about Puka.
Yeah,
Because I do feel that while Cup gets a lot of targets, Puka gets the highest return on the targets he gets, touchdown / bigger plays. So obviously, like, until Pete showed some love for Stafford, I was thinking about getting Herbert his first start of the year. I have not looked that much into Miami's defense the last couple of weeks, but some of it obviously is stack versus going against your stack, at least getting some points there. So, and I love, like, I would love for this comes down to Monday night and like which Monday night guys perform best, because there's 5 total in this game. It's going to be awesome.
If you recall, Case, Monday night last time, Puka got hurt, and it was the Stafford Cup stack that almost brought
0 catches in overtime. 0 catches in overtime. Needed 1 catch.
My team is very boring. It's very strange that my team is 7 and 2 because there's nobody I look at and I'm like, oh man, I mean, Saquon's awesome, so Saquon can go off any week. I haven't had Puka, which doesn't help. The personification of my team this year to me is Chuba Hubbard. I said it on this pod for like a month. Anybody take Chuba Hubbard, you can have him. The guy is a absolute stud. If I can get out of the gates with Chuba and Chase Brown getting me 50, I'll feel differently. But I think, Case, again, I keep saying it week after week, your team's due to pop one of these weeks. My team's due to have a letdown week. I do like Tua, but your team's in a good spot. I'll take Case to win this week.
Season starts after Halloween, Mike.
Well, you have to be in it still.
That's
but
why.
I appreciate that.
Last year. The only thing about Stafford is that when you look at, so I said, like, Miami's really generous to quarterbacks. The last 2 weeks they went against Josh Allen and they went against Kyler Murray. So those guys have an element that Stafford doesn't have. So anyway, there's a lot of points to be had there, but it's up to you how much you want to roll the dice. So.
He hasn't had a huge year. Like, he had 1 week where he popped off for 4 touchdowns, but only threw like 240 yards that day. It wasn't like it was a 400-yard day. Like he
also hasn't had his receivers, so it's really tough to.
Yeah, but even it's pedestrian numbers. It's not big plays.
Well, speaking of pedestrian numbers, let's get to our second game. We'll see what matchup decision Larkin can bundle. But let's get that preview. A healthy Breen at the 7 seed taking on Lloyd. Let's hear the preview, Pete.
Wow, this is did I do my math right? These guys are up there. All right.
I don't know. You put it up there, so I went with it.
All right. Breen, week 1, took the win. It was 167 against 133. He was the boom of the week. Don't forget that. Kevin Breen took the initial one right off the bat.
I did forget that.
When you think about Dan, I always say it comes back to his quarterback. And this week, he's another one. You look deep at the quarterback stats. I don't mind Darnold this week. I think he's a good play. I also think Caleb Williams is a fantastic play. I do like Darnold better, though, so I roll the dice with that one. And I think Breece Hall against Arizona. Arizona can't stop anybody. Breece Hall might have a chance to be the beast of the week. So I'm going to pick Dan. I don't have any superlatives here because I use them otherwhere, but I think this game might have blowout of the week potential, given how bad Breen is.
Case, walk me off the ledge here. I think I disagree with Pete's setup. And I am very worried about Lloyd's team this week.
You love Breen.
Brees Hall, it's a comment more to Lloyd than it. Brees Hall is not a top 10 running back. Like, I hate to break it to you, he just hasn't been that good. The offensive line hasn't been that good. CeeDee Lamb, though he's going against the somewhat rickety Philly secondary, has Cooper Rush throwing to him. So those are his two best players. Then he's got Drake London coming off of an injury. Who knows what happens there? I think if you're Dan, the bit you need a 40-point Jamar Chase output. Baltimore secondary has been rickety at best.
Awful.
If he doesn't get that, Javonte Williams in Kansas City, like, dude, he's got some tough matchups. I'm surprised you're that confident because I feel pretty good about Kevin. Case, walk me off the ledge. Tell me where I'm wrong.
Mike, I ain't going to walk you off the ledge. I'm going to push it. I'm jumping with you. I like Breen this week.
Me too.
Oh!
I do. And I like it for
transition.
Outside of Nico Collins being thrown in there, like Breen's probably putting together one of his more complete lineups that he's had in several weeks, right? And I think like Stevenson is the one guy on the Patriots team that's scoring touchdowns right now, and I don't see that stopping when they play Chicago. Like if they're going to get in the end zone once or twice, it's probably going to be him. So that's a boost there. Downs has value with Flacco at quarterback. Ridley's now a target monster, and I like Harrison Jr. even against the Jets secondary. Like I think he's going to get some points this week for Pete and Kyler. So I like Kev this week. I think he's going to snake. I said Lloyd's going to lose 3 more times. I think this one's coming.
This would be 2. I'm not that far with you yet. If Shakir scores a touchdown, I would take Kev. I think you see plug and play Najee Harris coming off of a bye with Russell Wilson. I'm going to call this one close. I think both teams are in the 120s. I'm going to take Lloyd. I'm not locking anything in though. This game worries me if I'm Dan. Sorry, Kate. I set you up for that one.
No, that's fine. I'm on Breen. Breen's my upset.
Okay.
Cadbury egg.
All right, let's get to game number 3. I'm patiently waiting. Pete, you haven't realized I haven't prepped. Oh, is this it? Could we see it? Could we see the largest upset in league history? Is it coming? 1 seed, 10 seed. Let's hear it, Pete.
My son, I think, is talking to himself. It is, bottom versus the top. Go with it. Hey, before I go any further, I wanted to say it is rivalry week. I forgot to mention that at the top of the matchup. So hope you guys are extra pumped for this one.
Are you a Spates rival?
No, but Yahoo just they're like, yo, this is your rival.
Always week 10.
What is this?
Who's your rival, Pete? I would say Darian's your rival.
I don't know. He beats me a lot. I would say Casey. You and I have a pretty fun rivalry. Although I think so many people have a rivalry with Casey that I probably can't stand out.
I could name anybody to be Casey's rival.
Is also
we've done this before, but go like very
Nobody
quickly.
likes me.
Who's the rivals? Breen's my rival.
Rivals?
I can't beat Breen. Mine's Breen.
Breen's your daddy, right? That was that whole storyline, that narrative.
I think Pete and Christian.
I don't know. I don't have any rivals. I love everyone.
Pete and Christian's a good one. We started the podcast. I don't think they were on speaking terms. Well documented.
Just an FYI, 2 things to bring up before we go any further. Don't forget the Germany game is this week. It starts at 9:30 a.m. this week. Ugh, that sucks. And the trade deadline is in 4 weeks. Don't forget that. It is going to be November 30th. It's pretty late this year. Trade deadline, November 30th. All right. Which game is this? Spates versus me. Week 1, CJ won 143-93. It was the blowout of the week. Bottom of his roster looks pretty iffy. But I still think he's got more than enough. If I was him personally, I would just play Devonta Smith. I'd probably bench Brian Robinson and go for the boom because I think it is going to be that easy to beat me. So I'm going to have CJ in the lock.
Yeah, this to me is one of the easiest locks we've had in a long time. He's getting a depleted roster. No offense, you have everybody in a bye. Everybody's hurt.
No offense.
It's not. You don't say no offense.
No offense, you suck.
No, I re-listened to it. It's not no offense that you say.
Don't take it personal.
No, it's not even that. I'll remember it next week.
Personally.
No,
what do I say?
It's not. You don't say.
You know what I hate? I really hate when people say not for nothing.
Yeah, I don't like that. Well, not for nothing, you're going to get killed. I'll take Spates in the lock. I don't have much to analyze on this game, guys. I think this is going to be a blowout. Case, you see it differently?
Nah, Spates with a stone cold stunner. More than bed frames are breaking this weekend.
Wow. What if I upset him?
Good for
It
you.
would be the greatest upset in the history of this league.
Really? Could I ISO that clip?
Yep, done. If DeLuca wins, you can call it the greatest upset in the history of this league.
That I'm gonna isolate that and make it my ringtone.
All right, deal. Bring
And
your
I know
voicemail.
how to do it. Because
Pete's not home. He's celebrating the greatest upset in the history of fantasy football.
yeah, no, I'm gonna make it my ringtone when somebody calls me. It's just gonna be you going.
All right, I hope so. Pete, good luck. I hope you show up.
Joke is running scores.
I don't think I've ever seen a team that has everybody on a bye or injured on their bench. You have no options at the moment, so we'll see. We'll see where you turn.
Free agents are awful this year too. It's not even
awful.
Not even anything.
All right, week 4. Let's see if we can get this guy to continue his run. We've got a return of McCaffrey, and we've got game number 4, Innes taking on DeVito. This could be if DeVito loses, this could be tombstone week for Steve. And he's running up against the return of McCaffrey. Pete, give us the preview.
The preview. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna leave you hanging there and see and like not show the name and see how long you had to go before you realized what game
I knew
it
there was
was.
only 2
But
games
you
left.
had that one. Yeah,
I did. There's only 2 games left, and I know the next one's the last game.
just no. I'm gonna pull that card out in the future and just leave you out there.
Pete, I can go for minutes. I can run and run and run.
All right, Steve against Jeff. Steve won 132 to 123 in week 1, so big win for Steve right off the bat. Things I like about the matchup, I really think Kamara against Atlanta. Atlanta is soft against the run, and I think that's a big gain for Innes. And Zay Flowers, the last time he played Cincinnati, went 7 for 111 against him, and he's been scoring at will, so I could see him getting into the end zone. 2 big plays for Jeff, so I'm going to pick him as my boom of the week, welcoming back a healthy Christian McCaffrey. So a lot of things aligning for Jeff, so picking Jeff in the boom.
I'm going to join you on the back-to-back booms. I think the fact that they're playing, I don't mind that it's in Tampa Bay. They're getting the Bucs defense is bad. Like they just have been a turnstile on any team except the Chiefs because the Chiefs offense kind of stinks. I think you'll see 1, if not 2, Purdy to McCaffrey touchdowns. You didn't even mention Jonathan Taylor, who has been just lights out this season to hold and maintain a floor. Pickens is back against a bad Commanders defense. There's some good matchups on Jeff's side. I will say there are some good matchups on DeVito's side. So, Case, is there any player on Steve's team that you think could have some boom ability, potentially bring an upset for Steve?
I think if Steve's going to upset it, he'll get the normal cast of characters at the top. I think Tyrone Tracy Jr. Is that his first name? I think he will be a key if he wants to get in the mix here. Does he have a big 2 touchdown week like he had a couple weeks ago? Completely get Singletary out of the mix there in New York and make it his backfield. I think he's going to need that type of performance to win this week. I have Innes as my boom as well. We'll triple boom it.
Triple boom. It's tough having A.J. Brown back off an injury. If he gets hurt again or if he's out, Steve's in trouble.
Yeah, it's make or break. You guys watching the Celtics?
Yeah, I have it on right here.
They're going to blow this game.
I mean, they were down, so they're up. I have a hard time with that. They shoot so many threes in the NBA. It's just like
analytics.
I can't keep up with the game.
Well,
you know what game I will be able to keep up with is the last game that we're going to preview, Pete. Let's get it on the books. It's Christian versus Andy. This would definitely not be a rivalry, but we'll see how it goes this week. Let's give us this preview.
Yeah, they're not a rivalry. I think they love each other. Those two get together. They're all giggly. Week 1, Christian won it 125 to 107. Nothing to giggle about there for DeVito, so pretty bad one. For this week, when you look at Christian's team, Bijan Robinson's going against New Orleans. They gave up 7 touchdowns to running backs last month. That is the most by far by any defense. Let's have Bijan start off November feasting on the Falcons. 2 teams headed in kind of opposite directions here, so I'm going to pick Christian. I'm going to pick Christian. I'm a little cautious. I do think they got a little bit of a trap game written on here, but I'm going to go with Christian.
Andy's bench is so depleted. I don't even know where he turns if he's missing 2 starters. Jacoby Myers, again, a weird play that has been wonderful, but no Myers, no Jacobs. It's just Andy's lack of movement kills him when he gets into these positions. And Christian's team continues to be rock solid. To me, this is, if I wasn't going to boom and give you the voicemail bowl, this is a pretty easy, the lock bowl. This is a pretty easy lock for me, too. If I can double lock, I'll double lock. Christian's team is peaking at a nice time. I think this is a great opportunity for him to get back to 500. And when you look at him next week, I think you're going to see quite possibly the game of the year coming up where he's going to take on Lloyd, and I think he gets there at 500. I'll take Christian. Case?
And I like that.
I like it.
2 in, 2 out. So Debo's in, and Jameson Williams returns off of suspension. So there gets him. At least it gives him respectable, maybe close to 100-point projection. But yeah, I think Christian's team is hot. And you know what I like? I like Hurts at Dallas. Dallas is in shambles right now. Eagles divisional game. I think they're going to go crazy. So I'll take Christian. If there was a second most likely game, I'm with you, Mike. This is it.
I feel better about my pick. I was cautious until that, but
should be cautious. Conviction.
Never be cautious, Pete. Lean in all the way.
Yeah.
That was it, guys. Efficient night. We got through it quick. No DeVito. Didn't really miss him.
112 episodes. When does this stop? When do you want to stop?
Not tonight. That's all I know.
The emotional roller coaster that you experience with the pod is fantastic.
Yeah, my life has changed so much in 4 years. This might be my last year.
The last
you got a little cold. You got a little cold tonight.
Yeah, I've gotten more sick during this podcast. I don't know why.
All right, well, go take care of that child of yours. Go tape your bed together. We're Exit Milford, folks. We'll go down 140. We'll go past Case's old house. For Pete, for Case, for Steve, let's walk that pneumonia on out of here. Good luck in week 10, everyone.